Hello everyone, welcome to my YouTube channel. Today we are going to discuss about a very common condition, that is diabetes mellitus. In this video I am going to touch about diagnosis and treatment of the diabetes mellitus type 2 disease. Okay, let's begin. How to diagnose a case of type 2 diabetes mellitus? Following are the diagnostic criteria to diagnose the case of diabetes mellitus. So these includes, the first one here is symptoms of diabetes plus random plasma glucose more than or equal to 200 milligram per deciliter, or the second one, fasting plasma glucose more than or equal to 126 milligram per deciliter, or the 2 hours post 75 gram glucose more than or equal to 200 milligram per deciliter, or glycated hemoglobin, that is HbA1c, more than or equal to 6.5%. These four criteria will help in diagnosing the diabetes mellitus case, and if the diagnosis is made on the basis of criteria number 2, 3, 4, the test should be confirmed with the help of another test. Diabetes diagnosis using any of these criteria should be confirmed with another test subsequently. What are the symptoms of diabetes mellitus? The symptoms of diabetes mellitus are asthmatic symptoms like including polyuria, polydipsia, weight loss in spite of polyphagia, and tiredness, weakness, generalized pruritus, recurrent urogenital infections, and delayed healing of wounds. These are all symptoms of diabetes mellitus. Now, whenever we start a patient with treatment of diabetes mellitus, we have to know some of the targets to achieve in them. So, targets for metabolic control in diabetes are fasting plasma glucose 80 to 110, 2-hour postprandial glucose 120 to 140, blood pressure less than or equal to 130 by 80, body mass index 20 to 23, waist circumference men less than 90 and women less than 80 centimeters, HbA1c less than 7. These are all ideal parameters, and satisfactory parameters are also okay in clinical practice. Let us look at the algorithm that we follow in the treatment of type 2 diabetes mellitus. So whenever you diagnose a patient of diabetes mellitus, you advise him lifestyle modification. For all, now if his HbA1c is more than 9%, and if the patient is symptomatic, I have listed the symptoms of diabetes in the previous slide, and here if the patient is symptomatic with HbA1c more than 9%, you have to consider insulin with or without oral drugs. If the patient is asymptomatic and his HbA1c is more than 9%, you have to consider dual oral hypoglycemic agent therapy. And if the patient's hemoglobin is less than 9%, you have to start him with metformin, monotherapy with metformin. If metformin is contraindicated, you can start sulfonylureas or DPP-4 inhibitors or SGLT2 inhibitors. Once you start monotherapy with metformin, you continue monitoring, and if you find HbA1c not at target, the target for HbA1c, ideal target is 7, less than 7, and satisfactory target is 7 to 8. If the HbA1c is not present between 7 to 8, then you have to start dual therapy with metformin, that is metformin plus therapy. The metformin plus, you can choose as a first choice, we can choose sulfonylureas, DPP-4 inhibitors, or SGLT2 inhibitors, and as a second choice, you can choose alpha glucoside inhibitor, glinides, or TZDs, or GLP-1 receptor agonists. But with monotherapy with metformin, patient's HbA1c is at target, that is less than 7 or 7 to 8, you can continue and keep on monitoring this patient. And if the patients, even after dual therapy with Even after dual therapy with metformin plus regime, the patient's HbA1c is not at the target, then you have to add insulin and consider triple oral treatment in selected cases. Or if HbA1c is at target, then you have to continue and monitor. This is suggested algorithm for management of type 2 diabetes mellitus patients and treatment. Okay, that's it for this video. If you want me to cover any of the topic, please let me know in the comment section. I will come up with that video very soon. Thank you for listening. All the best.